Sometimes when someone does us a very grave harm, really not to our, not to anything that heals, a harm to some part of us that doesn't heal, not alone, on its own, without justice. And they do it knowingly. Knowing that, because that realm of life where there is justice, because we're no longer even pretending for the sake of childhood that we aren't active participants and points of origin for all life, because that is life on earth. It's just as sure as 2 plus 2 equals 4. It's what it is, and it's also how it is. That each life generates all life. That's ecology. That's what they keep coming to you to report. Your, to use a very kind word, ninny, scientists who have no self-awareness, they don't hear themselves. So they can keep making the same discovery and announcing it breathlessly as if, who would have thought? But what is the discovery again of ecology? What is it that they keep... Well, who would have thought that? Is that all life is one, yes. Who would have... Well, anyone who looked at it. You didn't look at life. You were in a laboratory. What were you expecting? You only consented to look at dead things, not living things. Why do you think that talking to anyone else in the entirety of science about global warming is, for someone who understands that science, an exercise in real torture, like soul-killing torture? But talking with Lovejoy, Tom Lovejoy, the conservation biologist, or any conservation biologist, but I mean, Lovejoy was right at the heart of it all with that wonderful name of his. And he did love joy, but he was in the Amazon when it was in more or less intact. 1970, 50 years from what, a 2 or 3% deforestation to close to 20%. And rainforests, do these incredible things that life on Earth can't get by without. But what they do is so stunning that when a good scientist, there's so few of them, who actually could be said to know something, Antonio Nobra, now he knows a ton. But then that's common in Latin America. In Latin America, it's not unusual for scientists to learn from indigenous people. You go spend time in a rainforest, you're going to have trouble avoiding them. They know everything. They're never surprised. You ask yourself, of the people who routinely, those of you in the climate, please let's not call it a movement. Those of you who spend time talking to other people about the science of global warming and sort of global warming news of a kind that I just don't do myself. But I want to talk to you. That's my community. It's not a community, but I've been there too. But I mean, been in that milieu with everything that is real in me at 100%. Because when I hear that my nieces and nephews are going to be handed a planet, you like to call it, it's not a planet, it's a biosphere. But you say you're going to give them a planet where the very possibility of complex life has been undone. What is it again that I'm supposed to do with that information? See, no one knows what to do with it because science is so stupid. Science says, oh, well, I said it, therefore I know it. I published it, a finding, therefore I know it. No. No. We're talking about the end, not of humanity, which is one proposition, but of all complex life. They have no idea what, of course. I say it, but I don't say it to shame you. I have no idea either. How would I know? I know the information, but that doesn't tell me anything. I wouldn't know anything except that I'd read some words and acquired a few apparently verifiable facts. I wouldn't know anything. What does it mean to know something? We say, or they say in Sunday school, which no one ever goes to, it's a problem in terms of thinking. I just have to say it. I'll shut up about this. This is not one of those digressions that takes over. But you guys who think you're real smart because you don't have religion, ooh, ooh, ooh. Stop talking now if your dignity matters. If it doesn't, if you're just like a not very bright and not at all natural type of primate, like a self-invented primate species, and some part of this species that you invented, this non-human, non-real, non-alive primate that you invented, is mortification if caught being by light years the dumbest thing in the room. That's you. You are the dumbest thing in the room. Stop being it. And then being it in that superior tone. The problem is it's too late for that to be edifying or funny. Now we've all had the object lesson. The only one who doesn't get it, that you've been the problem all along, and specifically your endless need to believe in your own ridiculous, preposterous claim of superiority, you are part of the feeble superior. Aristocrats were feeble, couldn't have survived a day. The feeble are the ones who say, "Oh, nope, you got to feed us. We're superior." Yeah. Uh-huh. No, those are the feeble people. The least adapted people who have absolutely no ability to live life on earth because it requires a barely conscious, barely even discernible, but it's mandatory. You can't actually be alive without consenting to be alive. It's not forced on us. Life, the real thing, is a gift. Living, surviving, I'll take some oxygen, take some raisin bran, take a little planet-killing petroleum, I'll take a little of this, take a little of that, take a little of this, take a little of that, I'll have a little of this, I'll have a little of that. And you do the same thing with culture. I'll have a little of this idea and that idea, but the problem is that ideas wear out. Like everything wears out the minute that you're no longer you. Not just life. Someday we'll know a way to talk about it that might have worked for you. But it won't matter because you don't need help. You don't need new words. You don't need this lecture from me. I know that. You do need to get moving, Betty. And you need so much. Those of you, I mean every person on earth, if you haven't at least told someone, this thing in Gaza is killing me, I cannot take it. You're no longer human, you're subhuman. I don't ever want you anywhere near me, pretending to be human. Any more than I would if you'd killed my kids with your apathy instead of Gaza's. It's defining. Are you human or not? So far, not